mind anyways when you clip it. We are livey.
Oh, yeah.
Big John and Mike, it is a Friday. We're hitting this.
Oh, yeah. Feeling
Sorry
good.
about earlier, man. I'm hyped up.
Don't apologize at all. Not at all, man. I understand. And shoot, I'm like I said, I'm super pumped for you in so many ways, man. You know?
So, for everybody that doesn't know, Magazine Dreams is a movie that is released last night. I am in it and play Brad Vanderhorn. Is that how you pronounce it correctly? And Brad is a good cat. He's a little
Mr. Olympia.
So you went and you saw the movie.
I did.
Do you think you'll be nominated, the movie and the actor?
I do. You know, the movie itself was really, really good. I mean, it was, it's about passion, dedication. I mean, basically not letting you stop anything from reaching your goals. I mean, kind of that's what I got from the movie as far as that goes. I think Jonathan Majors played an awesome role. You know what he did. I didn't know if he was like, he was like so just focused, because when I watched the movie, it really didn't tell a whole bunch of backstory about who he was. And at that point, like, it shows kind of like what he's going through at that current point in the movie in the start. So, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was, really passionate as far as what he did. Obviously, I like, the main reason I wanted to go see it was because you're in it. I like Jonathan Majors a lot, but, I thought that, it was going to be a great play for you. And I think you did awesome in it.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, man.
You could have given me a little warning some of the parts.
No. Don't say nothing. People go out, check it out. Brad is Brad.
It was phenomenal. But I mean, it just goes to show you like some of the acting that was done in this movie. Like, I think people are going to like it just for that. I thought it was really good. At that point, like it shows like, what some people are going through too, mental health wise.
Yes.
I think that was a good play in that movie too, as well. Like where we're at, people are going through things that you may not know what they're going through or what they've been through in life too, as well. So, I liked it, man. I liked it. I thought it was good. I definitely think that everybody out there should go see Magazine Dreams for sure. And I definitely think it's going to get nominated, definitely for the picture itself and for him as an actor.
So I'm getting all these messages from actors, and the response has been great from them. And that's cool, getting it from, Michael Beach that you've met and other actors, and just talking about how they loved it. They were like you last night and they saw it, and they're loving it. Thank you, everybody that's going out there and goes to see this movie. I'm excited. I'm on cloud nine today. Sorry, we had leg day, and thank you for moving today till we both had time to do that.
No, I appreciate it. Obviously, what's going on over there and what's going on over here. So I appreciate making time. Surgeries are crazy. Always something. Never dull time.
I came in and you guys were talking about something. Can you let them know the little discussion you two had?
Yeah. So, when we talk about
BPC,
yeah. So when we talk about BPC 157, now obviously, listen, there's different laws out there on peptides and stuff like that. If you're getting from a legitimate source, if you're getting from a research chemical site, you can probably get anything you want underneath the sun in any name, shape, or form. But medically, and get it from a real live U.S. licensed pharmacy, it's going to be a little bit different. So, pentodeca-arginate is what BPC is, right? It's actually a better version by one molecule. And at that point, does the exact same thing, is the exact same thing. So when you see this come across, you're like, well, this doesn't say BPC 157. It truly is BPC 157. It's just one molecule better. So at that point, even if you looked it up online, you can look and see, oh, this is what it is. So if you get caught off guard when we're talking about BPC, because I just talked about BPC 157. If I talk about this, I'll have to re-educate everybody underneath the sun of what this is, and this isn't something new. This has been the exact same thing. It's just with a different label. It's so you can get by U.S. regulations, and at that point, be able to service the patient with this coming from a U.S. licensed pharmacy and not from some research chemical site who's probably getting their stuff from China or India or who God knows where from. So if you're looking for healing, and we were talking about, what Jeff's going through right now, I asked him, I said, because he asked me about, he wrote me, asked about different injection sites, what he should be doing with TB500 and this, BBC reformulation of pendeca arginate. So with this, utilizing both of these exact same thing is going to help with healing. So golf elbow, tennis elbow, shoulder pains, knees, joint areas, wounds, after surgeries. I mean, there's so many different applications for these healing peptides. So if you look and you see this come across, don't worry. It is the exact same thing, but just a better version of BPC 157.
So I don't know if Mona, where are we with the BPC and the TB500? We're getting a new shipment from Titan Medical.
It's supposed to be here this upcoming week.
Okay, and so that will look different for us too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't gotten it yet. I'm waiting.
It's big. It should be to you guys. It's definitely been out like this from us probably for a while now. I would say at least 2 months, 3 months probably. Pendeca arginate. So if you see it, that's what it is. And because we used to get calls on it all the time. We just tell our patients off the bat when they order, like, hey, listen, this is what it is. So when they get the pendeca arginate, basically like, okay, what is this? Most people look it up. Honestly, Google, they'll go right to. And if you go right to Google and you're like, all right, what is pendeca arginate? It actually says a synthetic peptide derived from body protection compound, BPC 157. Which is a 15 amino acid sequence designed to promote tissue regeneration and recovery. So at that point, you guys can look it up, see for yourself, but this is what it is. This is how the pharmacists have to label it. It is BPC 157, but like I said, with one molecule change. It's crazy how things can go like that, where something can be banned, you change one molecule on it, and now it's again legal. So,
well, this is great because the one thing I would hate is the fact that we lose it.
Of course.
I don't want to lose either of those two.
Me neither.
So
we just cut a little short. I'm going to send you, and it was asking, it was our last talk. John, if you had to pick one peptide, what would it be? And I said BPC 157 in there. Like, that is one of the main ones for me because I can get, some of these different things from other therapies that we have per se. But the healing or just getting by right now with knee and total shoulder replacement, being able to lift, it's insane. Just daily functions, like even to lift my arm, to like press like the forward button on my radio, like a pain like that. It's insane, guys. I put on a smile and go out to war every day, and I don't care. But definitely through pain, like through the day, is what I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of pain through the day, and when I take in the morning, because I'm literally like sleeping at night, and it gets even worse. It gets stiff. It almost gets like a frozen shoulder type deal with a lot of pain. And as soon as I inject the pendeca arginate, BPC 157 with TB500, I get instant relief. It must be taking away the inflammation in the area. And at that point, I'm able to lift that day and go about my day. The next day to do it over again. So thank God we still have it for sure.
Is this one of your main things that you like?
BPC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you brought this up the other day. Jeff was the one that brought that to us, that he was doing it. And so what's your 5 go-to?
Yeah, well, right now,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, well, right now I'm dealing with something. I think the scientific term is my shoulder feels like shit. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the scientific term for it. So just the dynamic duo, BPC, TB500, really.
Yeah.
For me right now, where I'm at, that's all I know. And it's just something that, no, I don't do it preemptively. I'm, like a lot of people, something happens and then I respond to it. But the response time is instant, which is crazy. And it's nothing like taking ibuprofen or Advil or other pain medication that is masking. This is drinking, and that is something completely different. And it's no wonder they didn't like BPC because
we can't make money from it. We want to do it.
Yeah, and take that in my shoulder, boom. I know it's said so much times, the Wolverine. It's Wolverine.
Yeah, no.
Actually, Wolverine, guys.
It's crazy how it works. And then we're just talking about like the healing aspect of it, right? Like if you have a pain or an issue or whatever it is, let's talk about the recovery process of muscle growth.
Ooh.
This aids in that too as well. So actually, like being able to recover faster, okay, to build these fibers, to build this tissue. I mean, at that point, like you're talking about a catalyst here. So not only will it help heal, but it will help proactively help your body gain in some aspects. So there's a lot of different applications for these different healing peptides. And we just focus on, hey, listen, if you have a, like a shoulder injury or a soft tissue injury or whatever it may be. But there's some other things. I mean, even they're talking about like different vital organs. There's some research about it. Hopefully it's more clear in the future, but I think these applications can be used in a lot more different ways.
That's, again, for me and everybody at home, try to do it preventative, jump in front of it. I'll keep saying that. And today we gone over tons of nutrition and the importance of it. And yesterday, let me pull this into it, is we had DDP here. Diamond Dallas Page, the Hall of Fame wrestler.
Dude.
So great cat, nice guy.
Yep.
69.
Yep.
69. Yeah, and came up with this DDP yoga, and I knew about this a while ago because I was doing a Steve Austin Stone Cold's podcast, and we were talking about it, and Steve loves it. So yesterday, I'm sitting here in the crew doing yoga with him, and we got.
He sold it on Shark Tank.
Is that what he did?
He made a deal on Shark Tank for DDP yoga. Yes.
Good for him.
That's what I told him. I was like, when I told him at Olympia, I don't know, it was 2 years ago, we were talking or whatever. He was like, yeah, he was like, I was like, I seen the yoga thing he sold on Shark Tank. It's pretty badass. And he's got the restrictive, the bands and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, you probably sell another deal on Shark Tank with these things for sure.
7 years ago.
That was 7?
7.
Well,
It's been a while.
He's still doing it. He's still pushing it. The yoga felt great yesterday. Great range of motion for me and the crew, and it was cool too because you got me, and then we had an old college player fullback with us, and then we had a couple of young kids, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys. So is this also what was on there? The power cuffs? Or
Yes.
that's separate.
No. So that he just brought it a couple years ago.
Okay.
That was debuted him at the Olympia. That's when we were there. It was like a couple years ago. I think it was in Orlando. I think it was.
Well, it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I think you would like it.
Oh, for sure. No, I got a pair of the cuffs. I did a video for him
I
back
would
then.
guess that. Yeah, Johnny loves. You remind me still of the 18-year-old. You're a beast. You're in it. You like this stuff. You love the pump.
I do.
And when you train like a savage. So yeah, I love that you. I should have guessed you would have had those.
Dude, for sure.
I'm the old guy lifting. I'm like taking a nap in between sets where John's over here.
Yeah, right.
John's got like 5 exercises going and stuff, and so
trying to stay ready. Be ready and stay ready.
be ready, stay ready. With that being said, I am. We got some ups and downs, and thank you for the support this week. Just also,
Of course.
and jump into this kind of, I guess, friendship you would talk about is that I know that this is a moment for me, and I'm trying to take it in.
Huge moment.
Just being part of this thing is amazing. But it's funny, the friends that are reaching out. And the reason I say that is because you really, during this time, yeah, it's hype, but it's the same friends that are reaching out now as reach out when I lost my pup a couple of years ago, and those kind of people. So I know we're talking about peptides and anti-aging, but as we're doing this, we're trying to teach a little bit about the circle of friends around you. Make those something Johnny has preached to me since the day when I met him. Let's make some memories.
Absolutely.
Let's make some memories. Because we're only here for a short time. And so it's cool, the support I got from Johnny and the crew around here. So I just want to say thank you again.
We love you, bro. You know, we love you on this side for sure.
And I love the fact that you got to go check out the movie and last night. And it's going to be a fun ride, brother. And I'm going to come back out there sooner than later. Mona's trying to set up a date where I might have to just jump on the plane solo and come out there and hang with you guys and get some more content and stuff. But since I was just out there, you are flying. You're training. You just had your birthday. Has anything changed for you when it comes to nutrition training and the company itself since your birthday?
I mean, obviously, listen, you know, family health history, you know, it's kind of all over the place as far as Sharice's mom just had a double mastectomy. My dad's he was supposed to have surgery next week. It is canceled because they're like, we want another cardiologist clearance because he was in the hospital recently. So at that point, that's going on. Had Sharice's surgery consult. She's going to need a full hysterectomy. So at that point, we got to plan that somewhere here or there. As far as business goes, man, obviously, you know, we're rocking and rolling over here. That's not going to stop. You know, I think last year I was kind of taken down by my dad, my dog getting cancer about the same time, and kind of what I was going to do, and just kind of hit me out of left field. But now I'm like, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Got to deal with it. Life is what it is, and life is not fair to anybody. So if you got the pity party going on, man, I'm telling you what, you think your life's bad. There are a lot of people out there where their life is even worse than you can think of. You can even think of. So at that point, like, I'm blessed and I feel good about that. No, man, as far as nutrition goes, you know, I mean, listen, training is still there. At that point, like, I'm not going in the mornings, so I'm like trying to get in the afternoons. And at that point, it's been good. Eating's been the exact same. I've actually tried to increase my calories, to be honest with you.
I love hearing that.
Huh?
Now, total calorie intake or carbohydrates or what?
Total calories and carbohydrates. I think this is the highest carbohydrates I've been taking in a while.
So you went from 50 to 60?
To 100.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's right. That's what I've been eating every day. And like, you know, I'm like, I'm outside my comfort zone a little bit. I'm like, I'm not as tired as I usually like to be. I understand that I might not be. So I've been playing with every day, right? So it's not just a set thing. If I think that I'm underdoing it, I'm going to increase a little bit more the next day, right? I'm just trying to adjust what the body's looking like, how I'm feeling. Training is going good. Strength is through the roof. Strength is through the roof right now. So, I mean, I was doing incline dumbbells today.
Don't go too far down this rabbit hole. When did you switch to 100 grams? And then I want to explain to everybody what a 50 and what 100 is.
I would say first week of March.
Okay. So, all right. Just for people at home, 50 grams is, I guess that's also a keto diet is 50 grams. And the reason why they do about 50 grams is because of brain function.
Yeah. So a little bit of glucose to be able to process. And then just for anybody at home, when I bodybuild and get ready for like the universe, there's a moment in those last couple of weeks that you go down to 50 grams, and it's called a depletion phase into the prep week.
to step on stage, and that's down to 50 grams, which is rarely seen by a bodybuilder, never seen by a power lifter or others. And so Johnny kind of rides this wave at such a low thing. And we know some of the most amazing fitness models do that as well.
Yeah.
Rez is one of the most famous that does that, just about at 50 grams. He gets it through alcohol, right? No, but he does, right? Doesn't he? Whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Shot in the morning, a shot. Yeah, after, yeah. So,
Whoa.
yeah, sugar for good hit, I guess. I don't know. This last week, I am all over the place because I got Sadiq talking about 2 Cialis and a shot of espresso before bed the night of the show, and another Cialis, and he's going, "Hey man, I'm gonna get a boner on stage," and it's like, wow, these things are all over the place, and I'm like, okay, what? I'm so out of it. I'm so out of it. But what made you, who looks like this again, top fitness model in the world, you're walking around at beach parties looking incredible at 44 now?
Yeah.
Ah, such an old man.
I know.
What are you gonna do? Stop lifting, go light, just quit. What made you decide to go to 100? I think it's a smart move. I got to say this. I think 100 is smart. Instead of a bookworm or a trainer would say, "John, I need you at 200 grams right now."
I know.
Wait.
I didn't want to go up too high too quick. I thought the 100 would be a good match point of where I should be. The reason I wanted to do it was I was going to put a little bit more size on before I start really getting into the summer season of trimming. So at that point, listen, about 12 weeks, right? So
Right.
when I get done with March, I'll have April, May, and then I'll be into June. So I'll be right around to where I want to be at in June. I think I'll be dialed in like completely to where I want to be. I think it'll be enough time. I don't think I have a lot to lose. And like I said, it's just trimming up a little bit, and at that point, I want to get my strength up. I want to get a little bit more size on. So at that point, like I was like, all right, well, I got to start increasing the carbs because obviously I want to put more muscle on, and obviously I want to be able to push in the gym. So I need to get the calories in too as well. So that it took over some of the calories as well. But I've increased my protein intake too. I think I'm to at least 1.5 pounds of a body weight right now. So I've increased protein through the roof because I always usually stay a pound per body, one gram.
So you're around 200 grams of protein a day. 200.
Right now I'm at so I'm like at
No. Before
200.
What were you? 200.
200. It would be like 210, pretty much.
Okay.
And
now
I'd be at every day. So at that point, like I was like, all right, cool. So I need to increase this up. So I was like, let me increase my protein intake. So what I started doing from there, I started adding an extra meal of chicken. So I ate another like 10 ounces of chicken, and then I would increase maybe one more protein shake per day. So I was increasing I'm drinking 4 protein shakes a day, and then at that point, I don't know, my meals. So I'm well over 300 and something in protein levels right now for sure, just by what I'm doing. In protein shakes at 42 grams, I'm doing 168 right there, just by liquid, and then all the rest are solids. So it's the steak in the morning, chicken in the afternoon twice, and then I'll eat another 2 steaks at dinner, and then at that point drink a protein shake before bed.
So I love this because I'm doing this. We both changed the nutrition a bit. I have Mona 3 weeks. I got 3 weeks, and I start filming with Francesca Eastwood on their next movie. So I got 3 more weeks of getting ready, and I did the same thing that you're doing. So I took the protein up even a little higher. And believe it or not, it's nice to talk to guys like you, or the other day I talked to Richard Safari. And as you age, there's a possibility, not for everybody, but for a possibility that your body doesn't utilize carbs as well, doesn't use proteins as well. And we all get older. sure. I get that. And so to counteract that, Rich was talking about, now that Rich is 61, that he takes in more protein just for the possibility of it doesn't utilize all of it. And so he still wants that 300 grams, which I think is so simple. This isn't science. It's just what seems to be working for you.
Right.
And I'm definitely at 300 grams. I love 300. I love the over, was the old school, almost 2 pounds per lean muscle mass.
Yep.
Was it old school if you want to get jacked? But the carbohydrates have to be in there, right? 2 grams per lean muscle.
Right.
I'm not taking that much in, but that was what I did as a teen in 20s when I was winning the universe and all those. But I love that you took the carbs up, Johnny. I love that because and Jeff's a size guy, so he loves the fact he's like, yeah, Johnny, get some size now.
I mean, it's not like I haven't been there before either. Like literally, like when I started tight, it was like 225, 230. It was size mattered. And then like through the years, it's just been different priorities, different changes of what's been going on. And then it's more like, all right, longevity purposes. And like you even see like majority of people, man, I just seen a recent video of Goldberg. It's Goldberg, right? It's Goldberg.
I know Steve Austin's back in shape right now.
Dude.
So
Goldberg is skinnier than I've ever seen anybody. I mean, it had to be he's probably 180 pounds. Like,
he's a big boy too. He's my size.
Dude, all gone. I was like, wow. I was like, and that's where I was like, oh, listen, I want longevity, but I want to be strong and built. I mean, I definitely think that somebody, you need to be on the upper end of things. And like you said, when we're talking about getting older, you want to retain as much muscle mass as possible, because if anything does happen, that muscle is definitely going to help you out, like, at least extend time. So for me, so I was like, all right, let me gain a little bit more. Let me put it on. Obviously, I want to keep shape and everything like that. And, always under the microscope, or if vacation comes, we're going to be shooting content or whatever it is. Like, can't be out of shape. Can't be looking sloppy. I don't want it to be like crazy. So, at that point, like, I'm just following the plan, sticking to it. I'll gain a little bit as I go and just keep gaining.
I know that when we shot, when was that? When I was out there when we shooting?
It was in April.
April last year? Yeah. When I was out there and you called me a couple weeks after, you go, all right, I'm taking it up a notch. And I love that band. I love the back and forth, and we got Drew there. We got a whole team. You got a whole team.
Yeah.
Of just these superheroes. I mean, honestly, Titan Medical is a roster of superheroes, both guys and girls.
Yeah.
So
you got some on both sides for sure.
So nutrition's different for everybody, but one thing I know that I love that you keep stepping up. You keep stepping up another notch, and I just want people out there to understand this is your company, yes, but you really live it.
Absolutely. I lived it before this company. I live it after this company. If it goes, it is what it is. It just, that's my lifestyle. That's the way I like to live it. So, I mean, it's easy. It's easy to a certain extent. You know what you want, and if you want it, you'll do it.
If you guys are at home and you're confused about the protein intake, don't worry about that. I can always help you guys out over in the Titan crew and help you guys out understand how much protein you should take in for you. But again, today, let's jump back over into the understanding that all this really doesn't matter at first relative to understand what's going on under the hood.
That's right.
As Johnny says, right?
Yep. Blood work is key.
First step for everybody today would be what?
First step for you guys would call or text Titan Medical Center and tell them that you want to get set up for a full in-depth blood test, whether you're a male or female. And it doesn't matter if you're in Florida or not in Florida, because we have nationwide service. So wherever you guys are at, that would be the first step, because you really want to see what's going on, like I said, underneath the hood, right? What's going on the inside? Because me and Mike have talked about this many times, and I've seen many people that look like a beautiful supercar on the outside, and they have a beat up little Pinto engine on the inside. So, looks can be deceiving when you're looking at somebody and saying, oh, this person looks healthy. The person could look healthy, but might not be healthy. You have no idea. So at that point where the blood is, and we're not talking about like regular tests, like, oh, I just got my cholesterol checked, or I just had my physical checked. Well, no, these aren't the exact same tests. We're talking about going in depth with doing a lot of different hormone tests. One, because as we age, we know that we're going to decline in these different things. And at that point, we want to make sure that we're being preventative about these things, making sure these things don't break down or don't go low or don't go deficient, and that your body's working at optimal levels. Think about this. You've been driving your whole life. Your body's a race car and you're in a race. It's time to take a pit stop and make sure the tires need to be changed. Get those bad boys on. We go through the other things, and you're back on the race, and you're running like the best you possibly can in the car. So, that's really what it is. It's making sure that you're being preventative about your health, and you're doing the best you possibly can for yourself. That's the other aspect of it. I mean, if you really want the best for yourself, then you should want to do these things because you ultimately be better, feel better. And if you feel better, you're going to perform better. So at that point, it really comes down to you and taking the steps. And it's super simple and easy to do.
One thing that we are back on is glutathione.
Oh yeah.
Again, and I went through I got sick here a couple of weeks, months back, or whenever it was.
Yeah.
My time is flying by. And so we got right back on glutathione. Again, even though I am pushing it to the limit right now, and I got that gas pedal floored, I am going as fast as I can, trying to get everything. And we talked the other day, very overwhelmed, and I'm trying to be prepared so that overwhelming feeling goes away. But again, it's helped me stay healthy and got that energy to where I'm not ran down so bad. Yeah. And thank you for the talk too. And he gave me some links too to just kind of sit back and listen to calm the mind.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I got that done, when I was in this, it was the craziest thing. I go on the spa in this Dominican, this really, really high-end place. And this lady's like, oh, you need to sit on this chair first. And I was like, sit on this chair? So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I want to go on the bed. I'm going to get a massage, right? She's like, yeah. But this is before, like, the calming effect. I'm like, I've never had anything like this. So when the lady first did the chant to me, and she made me close my eyes, and she had this water on my feet, it was an euphoric experience. It was crazy. And I've already like got to the point where I don't meditate, but I can take myself to that place and calm my heart rate down and my breathing. It's so crazy. I can do it. But when this lady did it, it was just like a whole different level. And I was like, man, I'm going to pay you an extra $40. I was like, I need you to record this for me real quick. True story. And she's like, oh, no problem. She did. And I listened to that, and literally I could be anywhere, and man, it's just instant relaxing and instant like connection. If you're outside, that was one thing that was really, really nice about it. But yeah, super cool.
So one thing that we are working on now is Mo's health and making sure that she is good. Her, we've done blood tests. Mo's T levels are so low as she closes in on 50.
Yeah.
Did I just say that?
Yeah.
I'm going to get my ass kicked, just so everybody knows. But she is, and we got to make sure that she's healthy more than anything.
That means I gotta get on tea.
Let's go, Mona. Let's go.
John, let's go.
We've been talking about that, and this is one of the biggest things as women get older and go through menopause and do this at 50 is that there is the stage where you've got to make sure that your hormones are still functioning. And
sure.
First of all, it blows my mind that she's at, what was it, 9? It was so low, her T level. And I'm like, you're so jacked and strong. Again, it goes to the individual. Not everybody's going to be at that.
For sure.
And we talked about that too. We had a friend who is not in shape. Her age is a little bit more like mine, but she was in the 60s, which is extremely high for a woman.
Yeah.
Wildly high for a woman who doesn't train, that's overweight, that doesn't eat right, and doesn't take anything. There's nothing there. So again, we have these anomalies, I guess you would say, and I can't spell anomaly, but we got the Clark Bartram who's running at 1,000 T, but natty, and then we got these guys that are taking 600. They're on T, and the T levels are only 600 because they're going to these companies that, again, just half dose them or something like that.
Yeah, they're not doing optimal dose for them. I mean, if you're taking testosterone even at 200 milligrams per week, at that point, you should be well over the range or above right where you're at optimally, right? That's one thing. I mean, for somebody to go and get replacement, and let's say they were at 200, which is clinically deficient, and they boost to 600. Yeah, it's a 400-point swing. That's good. That'd be good for maybe a natural guy. But at that point, a lot of guys are still having low testosterone symptoms at that level. There's a ton of guys that do that naturally come in. They're at 500, 530, 600 maybe. And at that point, they're like, man, I don't feel like I legitimately don't feel good, right? And it is what it is. I mean, we can look and we can see, and it's a proven fact that before, testosterone levels were always higher. As we went generation and generation and generation, we've lost our testosterone levels. We've lost our manhood. That's what you might as well say. Because at that point, if it keeps going like that, testosterone levels are going to be the lowest of all-time low for the newer generations. Because you got 30-year-olds that are coming to us, never touched a thing, no steroids, they're not into working out, they could care less to be a bodybuilder, and these guys are coming back very low too as well. So I think it's key for somebody to, one, check to make sure where they're at, two, fix the problem, right? Guy or girl. And girls get the exact same benefits guys do from testosterone. So it's not just a guy thing. Like guys take testosterone, girls don't. Girls need testosterone just at a lower level. And
yeah, I think it's so ran over with most people. It's such a guy thing. Where you guys out there, your wives, your girlfriends and stuff, if they don't have the energy and stuff, find out what's going on, do the blood work as well for her. Again, I think when they hear TRT, they just think, oh, jack dude.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like, well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like a lot of the guys will want their wives to get on it because what happens is if they have low testosterone, that same thing with the guys is the girls. The sexual desire is not there as much. And if you turn it up and you rev it up, it's just like a guy. Like when they have low testosterone levels or lower levels, they're probably not want to be that active. You boost their levels up, they're going to definitely turn a leaf. I guarantee it. And things are going to change. And that changes. Same thing with a woman. Like, I don't know how many guys used to come to us. And at that point, their wives would be like, hey, or the guy like, hey, I want my wife to catch up because she can't keep up. Or she's saying like, I shouldn't be asking as much. Right. And then we're like, all right, well, let's get on our program. And that way, if they're both optimal in there, they're both feeling good. And usually desire goes up on both ends. And that's just, it's a reigniter for some relationships, to be honest with you. Some people are just, they don't feel good on both ends. And the relationship suffers like everything else in their life. Their quality of life degrades instead of upgrade. So, I think that's
you're dropping huge points here for everybody here. Get this one right here. This question is great because this is the layman's person thinks that's all you do it for.
Yeah. So wait, are you guys saying you're trying to do blood work for more reasons than just TRT? Absolutely. We're trying to show somebody, one, like, listen, there might be some hormones that are off, but we're not just a hormone replacement company. We do all different types of things. So there might be some things that might be off in your blood work. And it could be, let's say, liver functions. And at that point, we have glutathione that's going to help with the liver functions. I mean, it could be a wide variety of different things. And at that point, if you're looking at something, it could be vitamin D. Vitamin D could be low. You need to replace vitamin D. I mean, there's a lot of different things you want to look at blood work, not just for testosterone reasons or hormones. There's different things in there. So the blood work can be very, very in depth, and it can be more in depth where you can look at all your amino acids, your non-essentials, your essential amino acids. You can look at glutathione levels. You can look at hemoglobin A1C, your 3-month sugar average level. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can start diving deep into blood work, and not just for TRT or HRT reasons, for overall health aspect reasons.
This one confuses me because I've grown up in the health and fitness world. And so the one thing is nothing is just TRT. Nothing is just do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First of all, you got to make sure that your body, everything else is functioning.
Yep.
And it's, this question is interesting because this is the complete opposite. This is the guy that thinks anybody and everybody can just walk into a gym, say, hey, forget the diet and workout. Let me just get on some steroids and go.
Right.
It's like life doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
You do your blood work to find out, hey, how's your kidneys? How's your liver?
Yeah.
How's everything going? How's your thyroid? You forget about a thyroid?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, wait a minute. TRT is the last thing. We got to make sure that you're healthy. We got to make sure that things are functioning right. Your thyroid's functioning right. Then
Yep.
are you eating right? What are you else
Yep.
doing? And then we can figure this out. So explain to me, why am I so lost on this question?
I don't know. I mean, listen, you're obviously right in what you're saying. You know, you want to make sure that all the vital functions in your body are working correctly and optimally. You know, TRT is great. If you can just replace testosterone, that's not going to do you any good. You're going to do yourself a disservice, because testosterone is not the end all be all. Let's say if you're just low, because obviously if you take testosterone, it's going to aromatize in other hormones that you need to start balancing and looking at too as well. So it's really, you know, being very educated about what's going on with your body. Everybody's different. It's not like you say, well, that guy took this and this is how his blood work looked. It doesn't matter. His blood work is going to be totally different than yours, and your body is totally different than his. So I don't care if you guys even took the exact same dose or ate the exact same diet. That does not mean it's going to be the same. So at that point, you have to recognize that first off. That's your first thing. Like, I'm an individual. I'm original. God, I feel like a motivated speaker here.
No.
Yeah, but tell yourself that. Listen, you got to remind yourself, hey, listen, there's, you know, certain things work for the masses, but not everything's going to be the same in my health to their health. So, you know, looking at these things and putting yourself in a unique aspect where it's just you, where you're looking at your stuff and where you need to be at, instead of comparing yourself to what Johnny or Nick did in the gym and how their blood work looks compared to yours and whatever it is.
All right. Here's a little training question for you.
Ooh, what's the best workout for
Johnny's
lower
got some good abs.
Ooh, reverse crunch, leg lifts, flutter kicks.
Flutter kicks. Listen, look
I
at
used to do
that.
so many flutter kicks.
Old
Dude,
school.
there was
You're
two things.
military. I
In
can
military
picture
school,
you doing
Push-ups, flutter kicks, and I can do pull-ups, and I can still do all three of those pretty well.
I just had this whole vision of Tom Cruise in the movie Taps.
Oh,
There's
man.
John doing his flutter kicks.
1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. Oh, dude, for sure.
I love
Trust
that.
me. And I used to run a lot. I used to be a big time runner.
Okay, so here's a great one because it has to do with, in my sense, it's a metaphor.
What do you think of 1,000 milligrams of DHEA a day? I think it's way, way too much DHEA for you to take in a day. I don't think you're going to get anything out of taking 1,000 milligrams. I think if you were going to supplement DHEA, you would do 50 milligrams as a male. You would do 50 milligrams a day, maybe 100, but 1,000 milligrams a day. Why? It's not like you did 1,000 milligrams of DHEA. It's going to raise your testosterone
questions,
levels.
hasn't he?
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a sex hormone, yes.
Yeah.
But if you take 1,000 milligrams compared to 50 or 100 milligrams, you're not going to feel any different.
All right, go with this one then. Same guy.
Do you like niacin with flush and high doses? I absolutely hate niacin in high dosages. I hate that my skin wants to almost get scratched off and burnt up red. Do I think a little bit of niacin is okay? Absolutely. Do I think a big like Golden Seal back in the days? We used to take a couple of tablets of Golden Seal. I couldn't stop itching for at least a half an hour. I'm like, I never want this ever in my life. So a little bit of niacin is okay, but I don't believe in flushing the body with a ton of niacin. They say it flushes out your fat cells and like, oh.
This guy's questions are all the gentleman before this. All of his questions are high dosed ideas and stuff. And again, just for anybody that's here, 1,000 milligrams of DHE. Okay, so the point of a blood test is that you would find out, are you low, or do you need to do it? And again, I think I hate the fact that health and fitness has gone to this extreme to where it's like, let me not test anything. Let me not see where I am at as a human. And then I can implement in things that could help.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just bypass that. The guy at the gym says, I can take all this stuff. Don't worry about it. And I rock and roll.
So best possible advice I give for anybody out there, whether you're going through it legitly or not going through it legitly, lowest possible dose, highest possible result.
Lee Priest.
Lowest possible dose,
So
highest possible result.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means that if you're on a stimulant, and let's say it's caffeine, okay, everybody takes caffeine, the majority of people. You bump up and you've been taking 200 milligrams a day. You're like, oh, well, you started to build a tolerance now. It's not starting to affect you. You're taking it every day. So some people are like, oh, damn, well, I need to take another 200 milligrams to up it up. Not true. You can get an effective dose of just caffeine by bumping it 25 to 50 milligrams, maybe 100 if you really want to go over the top, and start keeping going up and titrating up like that. Because if you go too high too quick, and this is with a lot of different things, you're going to build a tolerance to that level that fast. So if I went from 200 milligrams to 400 milligrams the next week, at that point, I'm taking 400 milligrams every day. I'm probably going to start feeling that it's not really hitting me as much, probably another week or two. Just really depends on the person, but I'm telling you guys, smallest possible dose, highest possible result, best possible advice I give you. Excessiveness does not always equal to the best result.
All right, let's grab some more. Do you see some good ones?
Magazine Dreams is listed as a 2023 film. It's taking a while to be released. So you want to tell them? I mean, at that point, like,
It's out now.
yeah, go see it.
Yeah, go see it.
Did you get the enclomiphene one?
I didn't get the enclomiphene. Will you hit that?
Yeah, let me find that one. There's something about
That's a good one.
If you see it, you just hit it.
Thanks for the skinny fat advice yesterday. Gonna get tightened up today on a higher calorie plan. Awesome.
Oh, me too. Wait a minute, Mo.
What's going
I
on?
think I got you on this now.
No, you
I
don't.
think the carbohydrates are coming in.
No, you don't.
I think it's filling out.
He doesn't have me, John. He does not have me.
Guys, it's a pain in the ass to live
He
with.
doesn't have me.
It doesn't. It sucks. I got to be on a diet. I got to train. I got to do cardio.
Hell no.
She doesn't do any of it and looks around. Yeah.
She's the super
I live
soldier.
with a genetic freak. It's
What do you
annoying.
think of enclomiphene if I spelled it right? So enclomiphene it's a good therapy. It's something that's used in fertility. It's something used to boost natural testosterone levels. It's something that we use along with HRT to make sure your natural production doesn't get shut off. So yeah, enclomiphene is really good. Clomiphene, this is another one. Same thing, right? Clomiphene and clomiphene, same family, sound exactly the same. One molecule difference, different effects. Really crazy. Take clomiphene. When I took it, really bad, dark, suicidal thoughts, crazy stuff I've never thought of, and didn't really feel anything from it. Had good numbers. I was up to like 700 or 800, I think. And clomiphene, I take it, no problems, no issues. We have patients that just take enclomiphene. They want more of a natural production release of their testosterone and not taking testosterone at that point. Works really well. I mean, as far as that goes. So I think it's a good one.
All right, we're just going down here again. See if, some more questions.
Yeah, I saw a trailer on YouTube on the 18th, I believe. You guys seen the trailer? You seen Mike in the trailer, right? Dude, even if they don't go see the movie, Mike, and they're watching TV or YouTube TV or whatever it is, it's gonna play and they're gonna see you. I mean, it's just
We're
all
in
the way
the
around.
gym, and the gym has it running the commercial nonstop.
Awesome.
You know what? I got to say, this morning, 6 a.m., Kevin LeBron calls me. Hall of Famer, Mr. Olympia stage. And, Chris Cormier called me yesterday, and all these guys that have been on this road with me, Chris Cormier since 87, teenage nationals. And Kevin is very quiet and precise.
Yep.
But it's cool, just those guys that have been in the trenches so long. And what Kevin said, and he posted on his page today, he just said, Joe would be proud. Joe would be proud. And I was like, wow. Joe Weider's the man that brought me to California. And so Joe Weider's the godfather of bodybuilding. He's the one that brought Arnold over here. And so to be one of the few people that he was like a father to all of us guys. And that hit me. And I'm like, this is a cool moment right now. It's a cool moment.
Very cool. Super cool. All right. I'm on TRT, but my LDO went up without eating saturated fats. How to handle it? Some of the diet's not working. How was your HDL? Was your HDL good? Did it go up? What was the ratio like? We'd like to know those answers.
Does being on TRT raise one and drop another?
No. Testosterone should actually improve cholesterol, sugar levels. LDL, different medications could possibly do it. I don't know if he's on any of their medications. Usually, even if somebody said, well, I'm on an anastrozole, and there are like some studies out there with an anastrozole, an HDL going down, but not LDL going up. So we'd have to look at those things to see, like I said, something is off in the diet for sure. Something's got to be off.
So get rechecked, make sure that diet's cleaned up. What is the recommendation for doing blood work after, if you are on TRT and you're on 200, I guess it would be some people go up to 300 and some people go down, I guess, to 150.
Yeah, so. Some people are on maybe 100, 150.
Okay. What would you recommend doing? The shot relative to going to get your blood work? Would you do it the morning of? Would you wait 5 days? What's your suggestion?
So we dose patients. We split the dose in their week. So if you're on 300 milligrams, you're shooting 150, let's say on a Monday, and you're shooting 150 on the Thursday, right? So 3 days in between. So that's what you would wait. We want to see when the lowest level before you take your next dose is going to be. And that will tell us. There'll be the drop between 3 days. And at that point, that fourth day when you're supposed to take your shot, we'll see exactly where you level out at. So at that point, that's a good point for us to be able to see. For females, it depends, right? That's on an injection that we just talked about. If it's a female and she's doing a troche or a cream, we'll have her apply it in the morning before she goes. We want to see where those levels are at. So at that point, when you take a cream or you take a troche, this is an everyday thing that you're going to have to do. When you take an injection, this is something that's going to stay in the body for a couple of days now. So at that point, that's the difference between those two. Can vitamin D help with testosterone production? Thank you. Big fan of you guys. Yeah, so vitamin D is a big player in testosterone production. Cholesterol is too as well. When we talked about this earlier, I know we went through cholesterol. And vitamin D helps in a number of different ways. Renal function, so kidneys. There's a lot of different things. Vitamin D is actually a hormone. It's not a vitamin. But at that point, it does help with testosterone production too as well. So you want to make sure you have a healthy vitamin D level. And vitamin D, like I said, it's a little bit different. It's an oil-based type thing where like vitamin B12, vitamin C, these are all water-based. So with vitamin B12, I can send you a bottle. You can inject the whole bottle that day and nothing's going to happen to you, right? You're going to excrete out what you don't use. If you do that to let's say a vitamin D bottle with 100,000 per ml, and there's 10 mLs, and we shoot all 10 mLs in at the same time, you might have some problems, right? If those levels go too high and they stay too high. So it can be toxic to the body. So just make sure you are blood testing if you are taking vitamin D. What's the best supplement to get steroid accusations? I don't know. What's the best supplement to get steroid accusations? Creatine? That'd be a good supplement, I guess.
Bagels, carbs.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'd fill out. Fill out. That way, if there's a chance you could fill out, get some, and at this level, I guess, what do you want? Back acne or something like that? So people.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you can do that. Don't shower for a couple days.
Yeah, I'm going extreme. I'm going extreme because it's like, no, dude, just eat. Yeah, throw away the soap. Yeah.
I mean,
for the
you want to get steroid accusations?
It's like eat and train, my friend. Eat and train, and then hope that you do that. That's always one funny one. It's like it's a compliment if they go, "You must do it," and you're a natty guy. What you don't want to be is a natty guy. You don't want to be on it, and somebody goes, "Oh, you're natty."
Problems for sure. Top 3 tips for longevity. Protect your ligaments with regard to your workouts. Water, glucosamine, collagen,
BBC,
BBC and TB500, obviously. I'm going to name those right at the top.
Forefront,
and obviously,
right?
Training Smart, that's another one. I mean, obviously in your workouts. But yeah, BBC, TB500, I would definitely utilize for your ligaments for sure. And then obviously, listen, use a collagen-based injectable, which Hercules Potion has some of that in there too as well. That would be my thing, for sure.
Yeah. For a lot of this stuff too, it's like when you get your blood work done, also ask for a second panel, which I do every 6 months. I try to get the amino acid breakdown as well, not just what's under the hood, but how my body's utilizing any of the amino acids. So it's another great one for all of us to realize how much we can take, from everything: lysine, leucine,
glutathione,
all of it. So that's just another one I recommend to do.
Every time I do shoulders, my back and traps take over. When I try to up my weight, what should I do? Trap and back take over, huh? I try to isolate. If you have to go down a little bit in the weight to isolate and to be able to move it, to control it, I mean, that's kind of what I would do. I mean, I would try to stay. Can't try to keep it out of it. I don't know. I mean, shoulders. You talking about like raises, like lateral raises? Like, I mean, because when I do shoulder, let's say it's a shoulder press type deal, right? Back and traps really don't get into my shoulder press that much. I'm like this. I can barely do this with my arms. But I don't really activate that unless you're doing bent over rows.
Oh, you're so nice, John.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be. Nice, like, I don't know for real. Like, I don't know. Like, I isolate movement, stay in the movement.
You train shoulders. You train shoulders. In no world does your back come into play.
That's
in no world. It's just not.
I mean, I don't get. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what exercise you're doing where you're activating your back into it like that.
Yeah, just anybody. Nothing else is coming into play when you're doing your exercises. Your form's your form. Other things can be flexed. Your back's may be flexed when you're doing shoulder press and stuff.
Right.
But it's not the driving muscle. So let's not worry about that. Also, your trap is your shoulders. So, you're doing side laterals, front raises, upright rows, anything, rear delts, your trap's going to come into play. Overriding, again, that's a form thing. Nothing overrides. If I'm working front delt, that's your main muscle.
Yeah.
If the trap is coming into play, it's a secondary. Don't worry about it.
Is NAD worth running? Absolutely, Wesley. NAD is just for health benefit wise. anti-aging, protecting your DNA, energy, mental clarity, and function. I mean, there's so many great benefits from NAD. It would be a disservice to you not to want to run it if you can, for sure. There's something in my regimen every week, guys. I would definitely, even if you're doing a maintenance dose, you're doing 1 or 2 doses a week, and maybe you're 50 or 100 milligrams, it'll be very beneficial for you, I promise you. And if you want to isolate just when you want to inject it to be able to utilize it that day, you can do that too.
I'm going to take a different approach. Again, John's very nice. I'm just going to ask the question is, if that can help you and that can help you 5%, would it not be worth running? I mean, that's where you have to find out. And again, with a lot of this stuff, Hercules potion, is it worth running? Well, try. See if it works for you. Try it for 2 months, and then you'll know what's going on. But to ask if something's, just so you guys understand the concept of that. Again, that's not life. Everything that over there at Titan Medical, or food that's in your refrigerator, or the gym that's down the street from you, all of it has benefits.
Yep.
It just depends on how you use it, and if you use it, and if you do it right. But coming to support the body, NAD, again, you said this, I think, numerous times. That's real longevity there. That's helping that.
Absolutely. It's huge. Jimmy Mentis on there said, what up? What's going on? Joshua said, what do I tell a Dr. Guy on TRT treatment? Call our text type medical center, 727-389-3220. We'll help you out.
Go with it.
Woo. BPC 157 is reported by many not to work great on old injuries. I don't think this is true at all. The problem is, is when we talk about BPC in a whole, there are a lot of people out there that are getting BPC from these unregulated sources. And when they're getting these things from unregulated sources, they truly don't know what's in the vial. They don't know if it's real BPC. They don't know what the hell it is. And at that point, we can't go off of that. Now, what I can tell you is this, is that BPC from a U.S. licensed pharmacy we've had it, I think, 8 years, has helped numerous people with chronic injuries, acute injuries. That means long-term with chronic, if you guys don't know what that means. And acute means right then and there type injury that just happened in so many different ways. So, I mean, I've had people who've had neck pain for years before they took BPC and they said it helped heal. So it really just depends. It does depend on what the injury is. Like if you broke something in your foot and you never had your foot replaced and there were some pieces off, right? And at that point it healed back like that, they might have a problem walking, might have a lot of pain. And that might not heal properly, even with BPC. That might be something that might need a little bit more looking into, or might need a reconstructive surgery of some sort. I've had people like that too, where it's like, listen, if you have a whole bunch of herniated discs, it's not going to fix the discs in your back. It may help with the inflammation in the back. It might help with some of the soft tissue around there. But at that point, it's not going to heal those discs back to where they need to be into true form, right? So we got to be realistic about what our expectations are too with this.
I'm sorry about this. It's maybe my mind today in the way I'm going. I'm going to go a different route. I'm not taking it off of somebody else's point of view. I know I've traveled life too long that I've heard the person say that squats and deadlifts are bad for you.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, they did it wrong. Or the person that was taking something, like you said, got it off line, or they don't know their body and feel that, like what Lee Priest talked about, just the smallest, I add one thing in to see if this works. And so are they this? Or is it just the Joe Blow that goes and plays tennis on Saturday? I had a bad knee. It still hurts. It doesn't work. Okay. So my recommendation again is you're going to take your health as serious as you want to. I take it really serious. Johnny is stepping up daily and knocking me out of the park. And so we just take my recommendation is check for yourself and then give a true response to that. Unless it doesn't mean anything and the pain is tolerable and you're okay with it and it's just going to go away one day.
Yep. Not going to do that. Is injectable better than oral on the bad if it is?
He means NAD.
He means for NAD.
Oh, NAD is going to be your way to go. Is injectable. I wouldn't do oral. There's a lot of oral out there, over the counter, NAD and stuff like that. I would do injectable and that would be it. Just like glutathione, I wouldn't do oral. I'd do an injectable. There's no way I would have a breakdown or anything like that. Just started following. Great info. Thanks on keto or thoughts on keto or carnivore for someone who has been sedentary and out of the gym for 10 plus years. Looking to get back into a 5'10", 165, down from 220. It's a good amount of weight. It's a good amount of weight. I mean, how's your diet been right now, I guess? And if you're going to start changing it, then, I mean, you're going to start going into one way or the other. I have never ran keto before. I've had people that ran keto say they got great results. I've never ran it myself, so I can't speak on it from my point of view. Carnivore ran. Carnivore will run, but you can't stay like that forever either. You're going to want your body to start functioning properly. So, I would start by eating good foods and maybe get on a meal plan from Mike and have him set you up. The meal plans are going to be essential for people that don't know what they're doing. They have no education on food or what they should be eating. This is where a meal plan is going to set you up for success. Carnivore diet is one thing, right? And you're like, all right, great, I'm just going to eat meats and stuff like that and cut out carbs. You'll probably lose some weight, no doubt. But, at that point, I think if you have a meal plan, you really know what to do. Instead of saying, oh, if you were educated enough to write your own meal plan, you wouldn't be asking this question. Okay? If you know what to eat, you wouldn't be asking the question. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying, listen, if you're asking the question, then, you're asking us as a source, but we're not going to be able to answer this question for you and lay out a meal plan in like 5 minutes, right? There's going to be some more information. Probably Mike will ask you, and he deals with meal plans. I don't deal with meal plans. I do my own meal plan. Mike's the master meal plans. Contact him. You can get through him. And if you want to start losing the weight even faster, one, you'll have your body nutrition done, and then you come to Titan Medical Center and we'll make sure you're optimal. And we'll make sure you lose that weight and get you down to 165 that you want to be at with some good, nice muscle on you instead of just a skinny, fat guy version, because you can lose the weight and still have a whole bunch of fat on your body. So you choose what you want. It's your path.
Well, first off, congrats getting back in the gym after 10 years. No, I wouldn't do a carb-free diet or a low-carb diet. You've been gone for 10 years. If you just go start training and eat a balanced 40-40-20, which I would set you up on, then you're automatically going to start getting in shape. And then as it goes, like Johnny says, then we can switch over and you can do the carnivore and stuff. But what you're saying is, hey, I've been out for 10 years. I want to go 100% now. And the great thing about health and fitness, the greatest thing about the body is if you go from nothing to 10 to 20% better, clean up the diet, go to the gym 3 days a week, you're better. You're instantly going to start getting in shape. It's a beautiful thing. You do not need to be nothing for 6 days a week and no carbs. So Johnny hit it out of the park with what he said. Welcome to the Titan crew, man. Welcome here. Thank you for being here today. Give us another one, Johnny.
All right. Does GH stimulating peptides include dopamine? Does it depend on dopamine availability in the blood? On dopamine available in the blood or in order to work? So no, it doesn't include dopamine, and you don't have to worry about your dopamine levels. Now, at that point, like dopamine obviously plays a function. Dopamine can be low or high in your body. The blood test we're running is not going to show you what your dopamine levels are. As far as the GH stimulating peptides, I mean, It's not going to matter. They're going to stimulate the pituitary. Pituitary is going to stimulate the growth hormone. Dopamine's obviously a chemical that plays a reward function in the body, and that's not going to matter in this situation.
There we go.
Mike, besides the gym, is it okay to do dips every day?
If you like dips,
Dip your heart out.
go do your dips every day. I mean, I fully understand. You guys are sick like me. I'd love to squat every day. It's not great for you.
Mike, what are your thoughts on a 3-day full body split? By the way, baby, don't hurt me. Mike, what are your thoughts on a 3-day full body split?
If you like it, go do it.
If it works.
You never want to hear that.
I never do. I never want to hear that. Yeah, because you're not training.
This guy asked a question again about the dopamine. Dopamine is a precursor to GH. So without dopamine, there's no GH. So Carson, are you trying to say that you have no dopamine? And what is lowering your dopamine levels to that extent? Is it your antidepressant that's killing dopamine, or you've taken some drug like MDMA, which is stimulating dopamine out of his mind, and you're down and out? And if that's the case, 5-HTP will be your answer. It'll increase serotonin, increase dopamine in the brain. So at that point, you'll have all the dopamine you need as a precursor. Like I said, I haven't seen anybody that worries about dopamine when we're talking about GH peptides at all. And like I said, if there is a person out there that they have a problem with their dopamine levels, then they need to be on a different medication and maybe not on a GH peptide. Okay. So that's something that you need to start looking at if that's the case. But I just want to answer this question because I said dopamine don't matter in that. And you're like, well, dopamine's a precursor to GH. I understand that, but I haven't met anybody that's had a deficient dopamine level where GH peptides don't work. Let's put it that way. If you want to say it like that, then you're going to tell me that growth hormone wouldn't work the exact same way if I inject synthetic growth hormone. So if I got Omnitrope and I injected, my GH level is going to go up. I don't care.
Johnny, look at this, Johnny. Johnny took this one, man.
I like a side question. I'm like, you want to give me a side answer. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess we can really get into it. And we can get real technical if you want to. So I'm very, very well endowed and knowledgeable about all these different things, especially with this. So I like MDMA. I think MDMA is going to be great for PTSD. I think that could be, I'm serious. For PTSD and for depression patients and stuff like that, their brain chemicals, they might be off. And that's why some people need some of these different things. So at that point, like, I'm not saying that there could be somebody out there that might have an insufficient dopamine level where these GH peptides might not work. But I'm saying majority of the people that I'm not seeing one person come through Tide Medical Center where that's been the case. 13 years in, thousands of patients through.
Can you feel the passion?
I mean, like, so, kind of like, so kind of.
I like the passion, baby. I like the passion. Give me another one. No, I love it.
Thoughts on creatine for someone in 50s and in general? Thanks for your time. Creatine's obviously great, right? Creatine's great no matter if you're in your 50s or in your 20s, or even if you're a little bit younger. They say that there's no studies that have been on, anybody underneath 18 with creatine, so they can't really talk about how good it is for kids. But we can say it's a very, very safe and effective supplement. It's been studied for a long, long time, and there's a lot of upside benefit to it. The only thing I would say with anybody that's taking creatine is make sure you're getting your water intake in. You don't want to be dehydrated, and that's just without creatine too. Dehydration is a direct impact on the kidneys. So if you want your kidneys to be good, you want renal function to be good, you want your water intake to be good. So that's what I would say, listen, in your 50s, you'll probably get a lot more out of it maybe than the 20-year-old. The only reason I'm saying that is because it's harder as you get older to build some of this tissue, and this might give you a little bit of boost in that area.
I like creatine.
Creatine's good.
Yeah. I'll do 15. I know that most people just do 5. I do 15 a day.
You gotta get your water in.
I do 5 before workout, 5 after, and then 5 before bed. Love it. Absolutely love it.
I mean, just with brain function and processing. I was looking at it was like in the high 30% or something like that above. It's pretty cool. Like just on the mental aspect, not even just the physical aspect.
I just love all the options we have in today's world compared to 1983.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like the first time I got on stage compared to where you can and what you can do now.
It's insane. It is insane.
Different world. You got one more for this man. John is passionate. I want some dropping knowledge. Okay.
What do I tell a doctor to get on TRT or treatment?
Smart.
You call or text Type Medical Center. We're going to put you on a blood test or through a blood test. And at that point, we're going to be able to help you. If you go to your general doctor, general practitioner, they're probably going to be like, no, or they're going to make you take a testosterone test. And if you're not clinically deficient, they're not even going to walk you down that path and talk about it. So, that's the easiest way would be call or text Titan, and we'll take care of you.
I'm glad you said that, because when you were saying what you were saying, call Titan Medical, it got me to think, he's asking to do this, and how does he get his doctor to do this? Do you already know that you're low, or are you just saying, I'm 35, I hear there's a rumor that it drops for everybody, and so how do I tell my doctor I want to get on TRT? That's probably... don't tell me that's what is it, Joshua? Don't tell me that's what it is. You're feeling symptoms, I'm hoping, Joshua, and that's why you're asking about getting on there. Does that make sense to you, Johnny? It's
Yeah.
I don't want one of these weekend warriors coming in and going, I don't look that good. Well,
Even if somebody came in, if somebody came in and they were 35 and like, I don't look good, I want to get on testosterone. But all right, cool, we're going to do a blood test. And then we're going to look at the blood test. And if you come back, let's say at 900, testosterone is not going to be on the menu for you. There's a lot of other things you can take advantage of, but testosterone will be on the menu for you. If you're 35, you're like, man, I just want to get it checked. I don't feel good. You're saying I lose it 1% guaranteed almost every year after 30. Let's see where I'm at. You come back and you're like 300. We're going to help you out with testosterone. That will be on the menu along with everything else too as well. So, it just really depends on what your numbers are. It's really patient specific. And at that point, we're here to help people and not just turn people away. We're somebody that takes insurance, general practitioner, anybody out there that's taking insurance is essentially handcuffed. And at that point, restricted in what they can run blood test wise, what they can prescribe you, or what's going to be covered by your insurance company. So there's a lot of what ifs in that scenario. With Type Medical Center, it's very transparent. What we say we're going to do, we're going to do. That's what you're going to get, and that's how it's going to go down. So it's very simple, very easy. What do you think about Reatutide? It is a peptide therapy. It is ridiculous, guys. I've had this therapy out 2 months, and now the beautiful, beautiful results are coming in. Yeah. I had one patient's been on a month and a half, lost 27 pounds. Every patient that is taking Reatutide from us has got amazing results. Every single one.
I don't know what this is or what it's supposed to. Can you explain?
Reatutide. So there was semaglutide, tirzepatide. Now there's Reatutide. Reatutide is better than semaglutide and tirzepatide. Semaglutide has one active thing in it, GLP-1, and that would affect, curbing the hunger and helping you lose weight and slowing digestion. Tirzepatide has what semaglutide has in it, and it has another compound or another thing called GIP. At that point, it helped the exact same way, but it increased the weight loss and increased of not having negative side effects like nausea. It was better for nausea. It was better as far as controlling hemoglobin A1C, which was sugar levels, and helping with weight loss. Reatutide. Now, instead of two things like tirzepatide or one like semaglutide, now it has three. It has everything that tirzepatide and semaglutide plus one. Benefits of this: faster weight loss in half the time of tirzepatide patients. That's something. That is crazy, just right there. 2, no nausea. No negative side effects of nausea. That's a huge thing. 3, it's made for people to lose weight. They literally geared this one for people to lose weight. So at that point, it's way more beneficial. It helps the patient. And at that point, they're getting amazing results. So, and the good thing about Reatutide that I've seen through the other two Issue the other two, a lot of patients have to titrate up, right? After so many weeks, they have to take more and more and more and more to keep it going. With Reatutide so far, a lot of patients have not had to bump it up. What does that mean? It means it saves you money. You're not having to buy as much product. It's ridiculous when it comes to that. I'm like, damn, I shot myself in the foot almost. It's so good. It's that good. So I'm super happy with Reatutide. Like, it's just been blown out of the water. I've had amazing. Even when we started, like before we launched it, we put a couple players on it, maybe in the team too as well. One's lost, I think, like 15, 20 pounds in like the last 2 months. So at that point, and not even trying, no working out, no diet change, which I don't like. I want people to change their diet. I want them to be active and exercise. I want them to get a good sleep and drink water. The base of Type Medical Center was to make you healthier, to change your lifestyle, to make it a healthy lifestyle. That's what the Titan lifestyle is all about. But these drugs have changed the game where people can get healthier without doing some of these things, which I don't like, because I like that they can get healthier. I like that they can lose weight, right? They look better, awesome. But they don't change their lifestyle. So if they get off of this drug, maybe it could bounce back, right? Or they could get better results if they did these things along with this. So that's the main killer. I think if this tool is used like any other tool, it can be used for greatness, or it can be used for just minimal, good results, but I think it can be a lot better if it's used properly. And like I said, this one's a game changer. They've got 12 more in the pike right now in the queue. So at that point, it's just going to get better and better, I think.
Thanks, Johnny, on that one. You got another here. You got a couple more minutes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is it not okay to work out without eating? Because I'm 17 years old. I'm 47 kilograms. My nutrition is messed up. And today I did 50 squats and I felt very nauseous. Okay. It's okay without eating before workout. I probably would eat if I were you at 17 years old and try to get a good meal in before you train. But I'm sure Mike will tell you this. If you train legs real hard, you might get a little nauseous. I'm sure he's made some people puke. I think I puked a couple of times doing legs. So it's a huge lactic acid buildup usually in the legs, and it causes nausea. So at that point, you should probably eat before and after. But I don't think it's going to kill somebody. I know people, they might get a little nauseous if they're exercising or extending themselves.
Am I correct that his nutrition is not that good? It's messed up.
Yeah,
why are you working out is my question. Yeah, I don't understand why you're working out. You're 17, you're 103 pounds. I don't know what you're doing working out. Everybody here knows that it's nutrition. If the nutrition isn't healthy or you're eating somewhat right, then you're 103 pounds, which is very light. You're 17, which is very young. And then you're going to do trauma to the body, a stimulant where you're lifting, or you're working the body extreme and you're not replenishing it. So I don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm confused.
Definitely got to eat, Yashwin. You got to eat, dude. Got to eat and got to train. And you got to eat. You got to start upping your calories where you're at. 103 pounds. It doesn't say how tall you are. Maybe if you're 5'3", 103 pounds.
You're 17, I get this, and you can go out and play and hang out with the crew and play basketball, but just understand that exercising or you're squatting, I think you may think that you're squatting to develop muscle or something, right? And I think anybody else that's reading this, that would be the assumption.
Yeah.
But anybody here going to the gym to work out and your nutrition sucks, you're not building muscle.
No.
If anybody is assuming that you can, it doesn't work that way. And Johnny said it off the previous peptide that's working for people. Unless you change your habits, unless you come with the realization that everybody says the same thing, the body is built in the kitchen. Eat healthy. and then you can stimulate and go to the gym and train, and then you could take care of your body. But yeah, I don't know. I'm confused on this one. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. What blood work should be looked at? Is it a normal panel? I could ask my provider about. So usually no. So we have a full in-depth panel, Max, and I mean most general practitioners don't run these panels. We have a very inexpensive full in-depth male blood panel or female panels for people out there. You call it, it's $150, and that's going to look at everything, CMP, everything your general practitioner would run, right, and a lot more. So if you want to call or text about it, it goes over all your hormones, goes over all your vital organs as far as your liver and your kidneys go, electrolytes, cholesterol, thyroid, blood counts, free and total testosterone, progesterone, estradiol, B12, growth hormone levels, seriously fully in depth. And we could do a lot more too as well added on. But for the $150, that's what you would get.
Also, this is a great question, because if this is someone in Canada and stuff and you can't do it here, and you want your provider to do this, like everybody here probably can go get your provider to do this. You're having your provider explain something to you that they're not going to explain.
Right.
That at the end of the day, I'm sorry to say this, but I'll guarantee there's people on here right now that had their provider read their blood work, and they're just going to say, well, you're 400 and you're 40 years old, right? And yeah, you have the opportunity to have somebody at Titan Medical that really understands this stuff and wants to help optimize you and make you better. A doctor wants to do the bare minimum and just get you in and get you out.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate truth that they're uncovering now with medical care. So
I just sent my buddy to Titan Medical for that exact reason.
Because his doctor,
he was blasting. I mean, he was blasting.
He was
and he went to his medical family doctor, and not going to discredit or say anything about what they said, but they told him to do one thing, and I said, look, awesome, take that opinion, do what you will with it, but also go to Titan Medical and see what they have to say and what they can do, because I guarantee you, your family doctor has never seen a T level that high in their entire 20. You got the T level of 20 people. They've never. they don't know. They've never seen it. They've never dealt with it. I don't care what textbooks, what medical degrees. They've never encountered it. So take that. They did. Cool. But then go to Titan Medical, who is a leader in this field and knows exactly what to do.
And that's the thing. Like, people think, all right, as a doctor, they know this stuff. Like, medical doctors do not go through any of this training in medical school. So everybody knows that. And that's a fact. So they learn about what a hormone is, what testosterone is as a hormone, but they don't understand how to balance it, what to look for. This is something that's very, very new and introducing, I think, with the younger doctors that may be coming in, because a little bit more on the cutting edge side. Majority of them don't, and majority of them don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about balance them. OBGYNs, right? This is a girl gynecologist or a girl's gynecologist, and they're supposed to treat everything that comes with a female. They won't even test hormones. I remember when I was first with Charisse, and before I had Titan, and we would go in and try to get her hormones tested because her endometriosis, which she's going through. And at that point, they're like, "Oh, we're not going to test her hormones." Like, well, why not? Oh, because I fluctuate daily. I'm like, okay. I'm like, but I mean, you guys should be able to have some sort of, all right, it was like this today. Like, all right, I mean, it's not going to change drastically overnight. And they wouldn't run it like that. That's why we don't run it. But here's the crazy thing about it. If a woman goes in and she fills out, because they have her fill out her symptoms, if she fills out those menopause symptoms without blood work, automatically prescribed. Automatic. Estrogen, progesterone, the whole nine. Don't even have to look at your levels. So that's even scarier, that they're just going out on a limb and saying, oh, well, this dose is going to work. Let's put you on this, and this. And females are the worst. They break out, they gain a little weight, something's off, man. They are on the phone, man. So yeah, you better make sure your girl's right. But that's how it is. I seen a guy in here said 35. His level was at 300. And one guy in here said, yeah, TRICARE said that too. So, I mean, this is just what it is. Like they don't care if you have low testosterone levels because they're still within normal range.
Oh man, Johnny, thanks for hanging today, brother.
I appreciate it, dude.
Before you run, do you see anything that you want to answer there?
I'm good. I think no, I think I'm good. I'm good.
You're good? All right,
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
We're rocking and rolling. Thanks, guys,
All
for
right.
hanging out today. Thanks, Johnny.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Mike, I'll talk to you later, brother. Keep
All right,
riding
buddy.
that wave, bro.
Thanks,
Magazine
man.
Dreams, go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.